I feed my dog raw food, and I just started feeding him raw food about 6, 7 months ago, and it's embarrassing to me that that's the case, because I always just thought if you go to the pets, I didn't think about it. You go to the pet store, you buy healthy food, the best food that they have available at a nice pet store. Like, this got to be good for the dog. Oh, look at all the nutrients, look at all the stuff. But then I was thinking, like, how is it just sitting there? How does it not go bad?
Hey guys, Brandon, Sky Soldier Dog Training. And if you clicked on this video, then more than likely you were like me 2 years ago today, and you're curious about the raw food diet for your dogs. So in this video today, I'm going to cover 3 things. 1, my story on how I found the raw food diet and the resources that I use to kind of encourage myself to continue down the road of I'm gonna do this raw food diet. 2, my process, where I go, how much I get, how I break it down, the tools that I use in that, and then the breakdown per dog for the weight and the breakdown of the mix that I use. And then 3, the tools that I use in this process. And maybe even I'll save in a little bit extra things that, my stupid big food industry. Maybe I'll share some rants. All right, guys, let's get started. My story. So I'm going to try to keep this short for you guys. About 2.5 years ago, I was feeding my dogs kibble, and I noticed that 2 of my 4 dogs were putting on weight relatively quickly, and they weren't really doing a whole lot. And so, I did a little bit of a flashback to my previous business, which was a personal training business. And I thought to myself, could I make their food better? Could I make their nutrition better? And I stumbled upon this book. This is a book that I recommend for all of my clients, all of my dog owners, all of my, people that own dogs should really read this book. And this is The Nature of Animal Health and Healing. So I'll post over here. And this was a fantastic book. And then I read all the subsequent books that Dr. Goldstein had written. And it was very eye-opening to the industry of pet health. Not only that, but pet food. And I kind of had a light bulb moment, because I owned a personal training business before in my early 20s, and I had done food planning and nutrition consultations for plenty of my clients, and raw dog food, it just kind of matched with that same aspect, real food versus shelf stable product that can last on the shelf for years and years and years without going bad. And you're always going to get better nutrition when it's from real food versus shelf stable food. And so after reading that book and several other books, I started watching a lot of videos and trying to get some ideas, and really there was just a ton of stuff out there. And so I found a video that gave a pretty simple base approach to raw dog food, and then I applied it myself. Because if you go on social media, and you'll see a couple of these pictures here, they'll show you many different bowls of special stuff that you need to give your dog in order for your dog to survive. And we'll save all of that discussion point about nutrition and different things for a totally different video. In this video, I just want to cover my process of how I go about making a raw food diet. So my process on dog food day. So my process starts with a trip to Gordon's Food Supply. And at Gordon's Food Supply, I will get approximately 1 box of chicken whole leg quarters that weighs 40 pounds. And this price ranges from $18 to $22 a box. From there, that will be my bone-in portion, or my bone-in base for this recipe. And then I will take and I will go and look at their boneless portion. If they don't have anything under $3 a pound, then I'll probably make a trip to Costco, where I've lately been getting a hold of a pork butt, and there I will get roughly 16 to 22 pounds of boneless meat from them. And now I should stop and let you guys know I have 4 dogs. I don't have one giant dog. I have 4 dogs that I'm preparing this for. And so once I gather this, I'll bring it home, set up my grinder, and then start to cut and break down the chicken, and then put it in the grinder completely. It'll grind it bones and all, and then I will collect it and then put it in the freezer, and then go ahead and start on the boneless portion. Now, it should be said, guys, if you have ground beef or some kind of ground meat, you don't have to grind it because it's already ground. But because of the pork butt not being ground, I have to grind it. So grind up the boneless portion, and then once I get the mix completed, then I'll put that in the freezer, clean the grinder, clean the table, clean the utensils, and then my real work starts. The work for me starts primarily in the portioning section, because I'm portioning for 14 days for 4 dogs. Little tongue tie there. 4 dogs for 14 days, only because it would be an absurd amount of meat and an absurd amount of work if I made an entire month's supply for 4 dogs for beyond 14 days. So I do 14 days, and what I'll do is I will take the bone-in portion and I will scoop it out and measure it into each container based on the weight of the dog. And so the breakdown for the weight is 1 to 3% of their ideal body weight a day is what they're looking to get. And so then you take 60% of that meal is going to be bone-in, and 40% of that is going to be boneless. And so mix it, measure it, weigh it, and then package it, put it in the freezer. And this takes me several hours just because I'm doing this for 4 dogs. But one of the benefits that I've seen from doing it this way is it's simple and it's repeatable. But one of the other benefits is you can add things to it or take things away if you'd like. The side note of feeding your dog raw, or the side benefit that they don't tell you about often, is that all of the inflammation issues start to slowly trickle away from your dog because your dog is getting more real food, which allows you to kind of pick and choose what supplements you would like to add and what different things that you'd like to add. I have a couple things that I do add, and I will post a picture of each one of them, even though it's like 2 or 3. All right, tools that I use. So first and foremost, I use a meat grinder. I chose a meat grinder from Bass Pro. It is a 3/4 horsepower meat grinder. And I will tell you guys, if you're looking to grind chicken bones, you need something over a 1/2 horsepower to grind those chicken bones. Your KitchenAid attachment will not be powerful enough, and it will lock up, and whoever owns the KitchenAid, whether it's you or somebody else, they're going to be pulling your hair out, or you're going to be pulling your own hair out. So get yourself something over a 1/2 horsepower. Then the tool that may not be important for everybody, but it's important for me, is I use a pair of snips. And I'm going to attach a picture of the snips that I use. They're a very specific brand that I get from the hardware store, and they are awesome. They cut through chicken bones. They cut through tough tissue. I use them when I process game meat. These are awesome snips. I don't think they're designed for meat. I don't think they're designed for food, if you can get them at the hardware store. But they are fantastic. They cut through chicken joints like it's no big deal. Then the next thing that I use is I use these little plastic containers. I'll have a picture of them right here from Amazon, because that's where I got them. And these little containers allow me to portion out the meat and put them in the freezer and pull them out every evening to let them thaw. And then lastly, if you've got as many dogs as I do, I've got 4, like I said, you might need a deep freeze. I've got a couple of deep freeze at my house. there are very creative ways that you guys can find deep freeze. You don't have to buy them brand new. Marketplace is a great place. Estate sales, different places like that, you guys can find a deep freeze. But I love my deep freeze. It makes storing all of this dog food really easy and convenient. Summary, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was easy for you to follow and kind of get some ideas for your own dog and making your own dog food. The thing that I would tell you is, if you're curious about doing raw dog food, just take the leap. There are plenty of sources out there where you can get information. There's plenty of sources out there where you could get locked up in analysis paralysis. Ultimately, dogs, just like us, they thrive off of real food, and there's no reason to overcomplicate this. There's plenty of families where I've come in and I've been working with their dog, and they ask me about dog food, and then they tell me all of these different horror stories that their vet tells them about how their dog will die if they take them off kibble. Guys, we haven't been feeding dogs kibble for the lifespan of domesticated dogs. So I would just encourage you, after watching this video, if you have any questions, you have any concerns, or you have some good stories of your own, share them down in the comments below, so that way other people that are looking to start a raw dog food diet can find plenty of encouragement from you guys. All right, guys, hope you had a great day. You'll enjoy this video. I always say this in my Instagram videos, but have fun with your dogs, train your dogs, have a great day. See you guys. Hey guys, Brandon, Sky Soldier Dog Training. Hey, so if this is your guys' first video that you've seen from my account from Sky Soldier Dog Training, this is the portion of the video that I've dedicated to my children. I've been blessed to be a father for the last going on 2 years, about to be a dad again, and one of the things that really struck me as I was becoming a father is there was a set of a list that I had written well before I was expecting, and before our family was expecting. And in this list, one of the things on there was, you know, being a godly man. And so if the Bible, if God is not for you, then maybe go ahead and click off of the video now. But if God is for you, and if you're curious, stick around. So today's verse is a very short one, but it's a very important one to me, and it is John 3:30, and it says, "He must become greater, I must become less." It's a short verse, but it's a powerful verse. I hope you guys found this video on raw dog food helpful. I hope that you can see all of the other training videos that we have available. If you guys have any questions, or if you have things you'd like to see, any specific type of dogs you'd like me to work with, or video content of that, just let me know down below. But otherwise, have a great day, guys. I'll see you in the next one.